Have any of you asked Kyle why Jordan Mason isn't featured more in the offense? I'm getting there. I've asked him why CMC is on a 400 touch pace. I've hinted towards Mason, but it's time to be a little bit more direct about it.
Yeah, I think
what
so.
does Jordan Mason need to do to get on the field?
How if averaging 5.6 yards per carry isn't enough, you tell me, Coach. I'm interested.
And if you tell me he can't pass block, okay, I get it. How about just run him then? How about instead of how about just have him on the field and I don't know, use him as a running back?
Yeah, like it just seems to me that he's so different from Christian McCaffrey. And you can't run the same routes. You can't run the same runs with those two. And when Mason comes in, you actually have to run a different offense. Okay, like build that offense. There's a lot of things you could do with Jordan Mason. He's very good at what he does. If Christian McCaffrey were hurt, you would do that. But it just seems like kind of laziness. Like, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to give the ball to Christian McCaffrey as much as possible and win the game. Sorry, Jordan. Like, nah, don't do that.
I mean, first of all, Mitchell, to me, I don't care what your August plan was. He's a rhythm back. You're never going to give him enough run to get into any kind of a rhythm. So put him aside for a second. Mason, to me, you're not opening holes. So you need a back that can push the pile a little bit. At least he can. And yet he had that very impressive run against Dallas where I think he was going to run through the B gap, saw the opening in the C gap, popped it outside, a little sidestep, full speed cut, was gone. Was absolutely really gone. I don't know, Grant, that he's touched the ball since that carry.
How many teams would have a guy averaging 5.6 yards per carry and not give him the ball? How many teams would do that? That is such a Kyle Shanahan thing to do where he it's so counter intuitive that when Kyle does it, people are like, well, he must have a reason. I mean, it's so unexplainable that Kyle must have a good reason for why he's doing this. And I'm thinking like, man, this is stupid. Kyle, get your running back on the field. He's good. Why are you playing Elijah Mitchell? He doesn't have it right now. It's an easy decision.
It's easy to see. It's really easy to see that he doesn't have it. All right. How will Shanahan jumpstart the offense? He talked about my team's old or my team's beat up and tired. Now they're a little less beat up after the bye. He said they're slow and tired. Well, they're less tired now, but how do they get more speed? I would play Mason at running back and flex out CMC and take some of the pounding off of him and still utilize him out in space. But I mean, how does Shanahan jumpstart the offense? And we get this non-super, but it's just a good question. Gary Lamb, Main Event Mania, says, did you guys ask Kyle about some up-tempo offense? The very little use of tempo.
Yeah, right. No, they don't do that. They're the slowest offense in the league. They need to do 18 shifts and motions before they run any play. No, here's what they're going to do. Who's fresh on this offense right now, Larry?
Mason.
At wide receiver.
Ayuk probably. Debo. I mean, Debo. Yeah, Debo hasn't played. I mean, Danny Gray's never touched anything. I wouldn't mind seeing Danny Gray.
Debo should be fresh. Debo makes the most money on this offense. He makes like double. He makes $20
million a year. 20.
He needs to step up. He needs to step up and play and like carry the team down the stretch the way he did 2 years ago. He's not that old. He's fresh. He hurt his shoulder. He should be healthy. It's got to be Debo. And I feel like Kyle Shanahan is so creative with Debo. He can do so much. He can make the quarterback's life so easy. Got to be Debo, man. Otherwise, we've seen this offense without Debo. It's not going to be Trent Williams. Trent Williams is interesting. All-time great offensive tackle. But what makes him great is something very specific. It's not his size. It's not his strength. It's his quickness. It's his agility. So once he has an ankle injury, how effective is he? Because everything it's all about getting him in space as a run blocker, out in space on the left side. How good is he going to be at that with a 75% ankle? This is not his game. And once that's off the table for him, he's not a bad player. He's a very good player, but he's not Hall of Fame Trent Williams. Like, you've really taken away his best attribute at that point. So I want to see, where is Trent Williams coming back? Is he 100%? Is he 80%? Because 80% Trent Williams isn't necessarily that great, especially if it's an ankle injury, which it is.
Did he practice today?
He never practices on. No, I didn't see him out there. I don't know. I didn't see him out there.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Jalen Moore, I don't think was bad, but they got to get Trent back out there. They got to get Trent back out there. They got to get Debo back out there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
They
any
do.
doubt. They got to have both
No
those
question.
guys.